Y'all know I disappeared for months and months on end. Hey beautiful people, it's Matilda. How are you? How are you doing? How have you been? I've been great-ish. I've been great. So I've decided it's better to do this now. Sit down and just cold turkey do this now, because I've been wanting to make notes and like remember things, not forget things, and it's not working out for me because I do not have time to actually sit down and write down the everything, the events as they happened, and try to recall them and sit down. So I decided, let's just sit and talk. Let's get right into it. I'm gonna do a recap of 2023, and maybe we can like talk 2024 and see what's going on in 2024. But I think we'll just, the bulk of the video will be talking about 2023, because y'all know I disappeared for months and months on end. I want to take you through my 2023, how things happened, because I disappeared in 2023 for months on end, like almost half a year. I was gone. So it's time for us to sit down. Life had me by the washing. Okay, so yeah. Beginning in January 2023. No, actually, let's go back to December 2022. I'm forget 2024. December 2022. We went home. I went home, and I did a little reflection type video. I think I posted it at the beginning of Jan 2023. I believe so, and I was telling you guys how I want to be more intentional about growing my relationship with God. I want to be more, trust Him more, be more obedient, all that jazz. And soon after that, I watched this other video by Lipi Moseu, and Lipi was talking about how she has been fasting in Jan, I don't know since when, since in the past years, and she was fasting Jan 2023 for, I think she said, a month or so. And I thought, what better way to start the year than with like fasting and hearing from God, and like getting that insight from God on how I should navigate 2023, right? And in my fasting, I decided to fast from secular music. I was strictly listening to gospel, obviously fasting from food 6 to 6, and I deleted all my social media, your Facebook, Instagram, I only remained with LinkedIn and Facebook. And then what did I do? What else did I also went, oh no, what is it, a dry January? I don't know what they call it, but like no alcohol. So I'm not sure exactly when I started. I think I started mid-January and then finished mid-February. I took, I think, 28 days of fasting. Yeah, I believe it's 28 days if I'm not mistaken. I know I didn't go all the way to 30. And in that fasting, it was insane. Like, the emotions were, the moods, because yeah, when the stomach is empty, the moods. So it was kind of hectic, but it was also pretty doable, and it was like a good cleanse or something like that. In Jan, right, as I'm fasting, no, maybe in Feb now. In Feb, I have been experiencing this problem at work. Our company was just experiencing a whole lot of problems with finances, and everything. So December, I got like a half salary. Most of us, if not all of us, got like half salary in December. Imagine when people were getting 13th checks, I got half of my check. So yeah, that was pretty rough. So half of December, and then in Jan, no money at all, like no salary, like Jan like no money, and I'm like, what is going on? And I'm freaking out, and I'm just like, yo, like the whole time now, I'm not even praying for direction anymore. I'm like praying for a job, like I'm praying for breakthrough or something. Like, God, do something, intervene. Like, what is going on? I think we ended up also having a labor dispute because, like I said, like we weren't getting our money, and it was a lot. We're expected to go to work, but there's no money, like, yeah. So we ended up getting into a labor dispute situation, and then in this whole thing now, I am super productive because I don't have social media. I barely have social media. I barely use WhatsApp. I barely use LinkedIn. I was getting into LinkedIn, and the reason I didn't delete my LinkedIn was because I felt like, let me just every now and then take a peek and see if maybe someone else is hiring, right? Yeah, so I'm believing God and I'm praying and everything. I'm like, God, like, yo, do something, intervene. Yo, I remember one time in the middle of the night, dude, I just burst out crying, like, yo, guys, 2023 was my year of crying. It's insane. It's so crazy. I just was crying and crying, just like, God, like, what's going on? Like, what is this? Because one thing about me, I don't have it anymore, or at least it's at a minimum now. I just have had this fear. Like, my biggest fear was that of not being able to take care of myself, not being able to sustain myself, not being able to like pay my own rent, buy my own food. My biggest fear was not being able to take care of myself. My biggest fear was not being able to just, maintain myself, like my everyday life. So now I was living in that fear, like, oh my God, what is this? Like, yo, I'm living in it, and I was crying and crying and crying. And in Feb, as I'm chilling now, I'm just like, not chilling, I'm freaking out. Actually, I'm at work freaking out, like busy working, and I'm like, God, like, what do I do? Like, what's going on? What do I do? Like, I'm in my head, I'm pacing up and down, just like freaking out, like, God, but I'm sitting at my desk, like, it's all happening in my head. So one time now, as I'm freaking out, I just get this, I don't know if it's a voice or a thought or what it is. I made a whole video about this and I lost the footage. Like, I lost the footage. 2023 was just my year of just, I don't even know. Like, I lost a whole lot of footage. We went up Kale and Tokwing. I made footage, lost it. There's so many things that I filmed, lost the footage. Like, yeah. So yeah, even videos from 2023, like December, I did a few solo date videos and I lost the footage. Hell, like that. So mind you, the fasting is still on, and I just got this thought, crystal clear. I don't know if it's a thought or a voice, but it's a thought, and it's like, just quit, resign. And I'm like, wait, no, hey. I'm like, God, I know I said I want to be obedient, but like, no, why would you say that? And I knew it was God because it could never be me. Like I just said, my biggest fear was not being able to sustain myself, and me being able to sustain myself was me having a job. So if I'm leaving a job, I have to be going to another one. You get what I mean? I have to have that new one locked and loaded. That's when I can dip. So when God says leave, I'm like, what? what do you mean? And it's just like, quit. I'm like, oh no, I know I'm freaking out right now on a half salary and everything, but like nothing at all. What am I gonna do? I'm freaking out, right? What am I gonna do? And I just felt this wave. Every time I think of this, I tear up. I hope I don't right now, today. So I felt this wave, like this wave of just peace. Just this, like the tears do not cry, Matilda. So like this peace just washed over me, just like, don't worry, like, do not worry, like everything's gonna be okay. Like, you know that peace that's like that they talk about in the Bible, that unspeakable peace, what a peace, unthinkable peace, something like that, beyond understanding. Yes, peace beyond understanding. I just knew what it, in a way, like, this is not me. Like, that peace washed over me in a way that I was like, yeah, like that freaking out just stopped. Just like, it was just like, peace be still in my mind. I was just like, whew. Like, I even breathed, can I say breathed, a sigh of relief. I don't know if you really grammar center, but lingutude, it was just like, whew. Like a weight was lifted off my shoulders and just peace washed over me. Oh, hey, that happened, and I was still like, dude, no, I'm gonna act like I didn't hear God. Like, hey, I'm not leaving my job. Like, oh my God, dude, what would I do? So, yeah, I'm just like, but then it keeps, the Holy Spirit just like keeps on coming to me and saying like, you said you wanted to be obedient. Here it is. Here's the opportunity. And I'm like, no, I meant like, small things, small. But this is huge. This is my life. What do you mean? And eventually I was like, you know what? I'm going to ask for a sign. You know what? God, if this is really you, if you really want me to do this, show me a sign. Sign said, ah. And I'm like, another sign? Another sign, please? Because, I'm not sure. Is it you? I'm not sure if it's you. Come on, another sign. And the sign, it was just like, yep, I'm gonna be on you. Like, you can try to run, but you can't hide. Did I even say that right? Just drop that. So yeah, that happened. So then the second sign, it was like, yep, you gotta go, you gotta dip. So I wrote that resignation letter. Didn't tell anyone because, listen, this is not me, right? This is me being obedient to God. And it's ridiculous. I'm sure someone is watching this and saying, she crazy. And yeah, it's a ridiculous thing. So for me to say, oh, hey, I'm quitting, I would open the door for so much doubt, because I already had my doubt and my like, is this you, God? You sure? Like, give me a sign type thing. Once I tell people, now it's gonna be like, they're gonna have questions and everything, and I have questions too. So I can't tell anyone until this is done. So like, I served my notice, seeing people, just like, I'm not gonna tell them I quit, sorry. Until like the last week, I was like, guys, I resigned. And the reception I got, the response I got was weird, because I was expecting people to freak out, because who leaves their job without having anything lined up, because I didn't have anything, no prospects, nothing. So I'm just leaving this job, just like, who leaves their job just like that? And J. Nobody. So I'm thinking, okay, people are going to be logical about this and ask me this, but I just got this response of just like, oh my God, we understand. Yeah, we support your decision. Okay, maybe not we support, but like, yeah, like we get it, you know, like, yeah, just like affirming my resignation. I was like, whoa, like I really thought these people were gonna like chew my head off, just like, are you crazy? Why would you do that? Da, 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 you know, like trying to speak some sense into me and everything, which is why I didn't tell them until the last minute. But like they were just cool about it. My mom, I told my mom, she was just like, yeah, okay. She was mellow, and I was like, my mother is a very strict woman. If you know my mom, you know she's strict. So her just being mellow, I was like, God, is that you? Like, did you prime these people's hearts or something? So that evening, now I get a call from my mom, and she is kind of freaking out. And she's with my sister, who's kind of also freaking out. She didn't, yeah, like all the responses were just okay, we're mellow. And then my two, then that's when I think maybe they were just digesting the whole thing, and then that's when they were asking me, so what are you gonna do? Da, 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 da. Like, yo, it's gonna be hard to find a job or what? Like, what? Yeah, you know. And then I just told them, guys, like, I really, really prayed about this, and the Holy Spirit did something remarkable, and it was like no denying. And eventually they understood, and they were like, yeah, okay, no, yeah. And the plan for me was to move home. I was just like, listen, I'm just gonna pick my things up, sell this bed, sell all my big furniture, the fridge and everything, sell it, go home, just go home, go to be with my mother, eat my mother's food while applying for a new job. We'll think of something else, or God will give me something, will impart something into me while I'm doing that. The whole time I'm thinking, okay, I'm thinking that's like the worst case scenario, but I'm thinking God's not gonna like throw me into something so bad. Like he's gonna do something, he's gonna no, like I like you quit there, he's gonna do a miracle for me. No, that didn't happen. Both my sister and my mom insisted, and my friends also, everyone insisted, no, don't move home, we'll help you out how we help you out. You're not gonna move home because like everything is in gaps and everything. So yeah, I didn't move. I stayed in that place that I've been living in the whole time. So I stayed there, navigated life without like waking up to go to work, which was insane. And I'm thinking, you know what, these people are gonna pay me my severance, and then I'm gonna be able to at least pay for school and, you know, further my studies while I look for a job, while I figure things out. That didn't work. Even now, I'm still waiting for my severance package. Even now, like, yeah. But anyway, so that was that. I quit my job, guys. And then shortly after that, because I wanted to vlog my life, like I wanted to still continue living my life as best as I can, show you guys everything. I wasn't planning on keeping it a secret or anything, that I don't work or anything. My phone broke, guys. We went to Avani with my friends. I put up a vlog about that, and I was struggling so much to put that vlog up because my phone screen just died on me. Gradually just kept getting harder and harder to use the screen, like, because it fell so many times, and I guess it gave in. It finally just like gave in right at the time when I quit my damn job. Can you imagine? So that means no vlogs. Like I pushed to edit the final vlog, which was the Galentine's vlog with my friends, and then which was / on his birthday celebration type thing. So we did that. So guys, between March and October, oh my god, it's such a blur after that, because life was hard, dude. Like it was at that point where like no, I cannot let's say I cannot compare myself to like Daniel in the lion's den and Bo Shadrach, Abednego, and is it Meshach? Shadrach, Abednego, Meshach. Why get a Meshach? And again, yeah, those people. But like it was similar to that. It was like, sometimes you have to like be obedient, but in your obedience, you're still gonna be thrown into the furnace of fire or into the lion's den. You will not be harmed because he will shut the lion's mouth, but it's still scary, dude. It's still scary. So it was very scary. It was I got to a point where now I was getting sad because I didn't have routine. Guys, I don't know how people who have like businesses are like full-time entrepreneurs live their lives, because I could not build a routine outside work. Like I had a routine okay, between like 5:30 and like 8. No, between 5:30 and 7:30 I'm doing this, and then 7:30 work. Maybe I'm gonna be late, but like work 5, out of work, have my evening routine, and then repeat again. Not going to work, dude. Next night routine, I was like trying to keep a routine, trying to wake up, maintain like waking up early, just like also being like, oh, what if like give I'm so can I get but as time progressed, I kept on waking up earlier, I think later and later and later. Also, I was just getting sad, getting discouraged. So it was a lot. And then because, oh my God, guys, I cannot leave this unsaid. Shout out to my support system, my friends, my family. Oh my God. I thank God for you people every day. Like I pray God blesses. Like at this point, I feel like I've prayed so much for myself and I've had them pray over me for this whole thing that I now just do. I wanna pray for them now. Like I just wanna dedicate so much more time to pray for other people, because enough for myself. And I just want God to just increase, just give them the heart's desire, God, because wow, those people carried me through such a very weird time in my life, hard time in my life, that time in my life. Woo! Y'all are the real MVP for real. Like I have such work cut out for me this year on birthdays, because I really wanted to. Those people, I could never do as much as they did for me, but like I want to try. You know what I mean? Like I really want to try my best to because they made 2023 so bearable for me that I'm just like, wow. Also, the other thing that happened to me that I feel like in the moment it was a bad thing, but now when I think about it, when I look back on it, I'm like, yeah, that was a good thing. I got so much in touch with my emotions. Like I'm not a crier, or I used to not be a crier, but now when I can feel like, yeah, I actually can shed it here. Before that, I was stone cold. Like I was a rock. I could not cry. So that's like an upside, even though it's like a I don't know. I take it as a good thing. I got this opportunity to be interviewed, which is why I get a shout out to my support system. My girlfriend, Hofa, shout out. She scored me an interview, helped me score it. I don't know. Like, yeah, helped me score an interview with these people, and I did fairly well. And then I just answered a specific question in a way that wasn't favorable for me and the people who were interviewing me, or the company that was interviewing me. And when I got the feedback, that answer messed everything up. Kalila. I cried my eyes out that time. I remember my mom called. And she was like, yo, okay, I sort of was saying more 1 p.m. there's a prayer that we do with this other lady, and I'm like, not today because and then from the following day we did those like 1 p.m. prayers. I joined them, they did a conference call, and then I joined them. We prayed 1 p.m. every day, weekdays. Yeah, sometimes on weekends, but mostly weekdays. So yeah, we prayed. Like, those people helped me also. They really helped me up in prayers, in my prayer life and everything, because I was at that point where I was like, I really want to revive my prayer life, because it's touch and go. May was my birthday, right? May 21 was my birthday. I didn't do much, but One, shout out, love you. Took me out to lunch. We went to Nando's, had a little bit of a nice meal. She bought me cake, carrot cake. I went back home with that whole thing. I think it was 30 just a little bit, and then I took the rest of it. I was like, listen, this is my cake, don't touch it. Yeah. And that was that for my birthday. I didn't do much, honestly. Even I don't want to do much this year. Even I don't want to do much anymore on my birthdays. We'll see. So yeah, my birthday passes. Thank you to all those who sent me messages and everything. And you know what the annoying thing is with like trying to find a job, because it's like, the annoying thing about it is I don't like attention. I don't like to be checked on all the time, to be like, oh hey, how are you doing and everything. But people obviously feel the need to check on you because it's the right thing to do and everything. But it was like, yeah, don't make a fuss. Like, people, I need you to just not be fussy about this, because if you're fussy, I'm gonna feel bad for myself and I'm gonna feel pitiful for myself, and I don't want to do that. But they were good, they were wonderful, checked on me and everything whenever. Yeah, advice, yeah, apply and it's like, yo dude, like, what that it's not a one size fits all. Like, hey, how another person gets a job is not gonna be how you get it. Like, there's no formula to this thing. I think I've been talking for a really long time, and I thought this was gonna be a brief thing. So I did that. Yeah, I kept on applying, and I got to a point where now I was like, desperate and stuff, and I would like apply and then call and yay, apply. And I was applying to this place where I used to intern, and I was applying so much pressure, calling the HR, this and that. I still avoid every time I call, they would think, oh, since I be since I say, yeah, it was yeah, it was bad. So yeah, that was that. Like, I was held spiritually, like, yeah, in prayers. I was held, and I thank God. And I was like, if God doesn't hear me, He'll hear my mother's prayer. If He doesn't hear my mother's prayer, He will hear my sister's prayer. Not my friends, someone's prayer. He will hear someone's prayer and He will answer. So that gave me peace. And there were times when I'd be so sad, when I just feel like the walls were closing in on me. Like, I was like, I'm gonna die. Hey, I would get so sad sometimes, and just like, God, like, I thought you were gonna like break through for me. Like, where is it? Oh my God, like, I thought this was gonna be like a move from here to here. And I had this dress. I bought this dress. I will show you the dress. I think I have a clip of the dress. I bought this dress, and I was like, God, this is the dress that I'm gonna wear for my first day at work. This is my I have faith in you dress. I believe in you dress. I believe that you come through for me dress. So I did that. But that dress, it stayed in my closet for so long. And then, like I was saying, there were times when I would get so sad that I would have to like fight. And I remember fight to stay hopeful. And I would remember this other series, limited series, Netflix, something like The Sandman or something. I will see if I can insert a clip here. of the movie, it was like a duel between the Sandman thing and the devil. Yeah, I know, weird. It was more like a spiritual fight. Like they were there physically, like at each other, but they were fighting or something like that, with emotions or something. So at the end, like the devil was like looking like she's winning. It was a she, I think, or a non-binary thing, I don't know what that was. It looked like the devil was winning over this guy until he had a raven. I know, crazy movie. No, crazy series, limited series. And then the thing that woke him up, that like gave him strength and like got him to win over the devil, was hope.
I am a universe, all things encompassing, all life embracing.
I am anti-life, the beast of judgment, the dark at the end of everything. What will you be then, Dream Lord?
Boss? Hey! Boss!
Still with us, Dream?
He is, and it's his move. Your Majesty.
There are no more moves. What can survive the anti-life?
Hey, boss, listen to me. You know what can survive the anti-life? You! Dreams don't fucking die. Not if you believe in them. And I believe Dream of the Endless would never leave his raven here alone in hell with Lucifer.
It's your move. What is it that kills hope?
That's how he won, and I was like, I'm gonna fight like this. Because still, even in my sadness, is the devil trying to attack me and be like, hey, you quit your job because God told you so, now look at you, you know? So I was like, yeah, hope. I just filled my head with hope and hope in order to overcome the sadness, you know? Somewhere in September, I got really sad. Like, it was a no coming back kind of sad. Like, I was so sad, and I remember that time I had gone home for like a few days or a week or something to my mother. I don't know what was happening, but like I had to go home. And then while I was home, no, when I came back, when I left my home here to go to my mother's house to home, I literally just realized, what I guess I had it. And I'm like, guess, like, bro, with what money am I gonna buy gas? You know, like, I'm trying to guess I had like a little. Guess I go home and I'm like, you know what, I'll tell my mother. She'll help me out. So I told him, can I guess I could get baby, that you like but I had money on me. It was like the last of my money, so I was trying to like maybe try to kopanya deal. I come back and I buy gas and I'm like, you know what, it's fine. I buy gas, and then shortly after that, like I don't know if it's a week or not too long after that, I go and try to switch on my kettle not working. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. Like, why is it here? Get the I be like, can bear like get the you don't trigger at night. I can't do this right now. So I'm like, let me leave it. I'll come back. I come back again. I don't know how long later. And I switch it on again. It's not working. Like, I'm not. Hey, get the day oriented today. It's not feel like you know when you're like close to like a breaking point, and then when it reaches, just like you just snap. So for me, I just told my mom. My mom, remember, we were doing like the 1 p.m. prayer conference calls. As that week, I was like, listen, I'm not doing this. Like, please. Give me my space, like that's what I literally said to her. I was like, let's circle back next week. I was like, I need my space for the week to be sad. And I just wanted to just sit in the pain, wallow in the pain. I was like, I'm gonna read Job, because for some reason I'm thinking Job and I are going through the same thing. Crazy, right? So I felt like, okay, I will read Job and see, you know, how he navigated that point in his life, that trying time in his life. And then I also, at that time that I allowed myself to just be sad and just be sad and sad and sad and sad. And then during the week or towards the weekend or something, my mom called. And she was like, yeah, I know you said this and that, but like, I'm just checking in on you. I'm just checking in on you. And also there's this prophet or pastor or someone who was praying for people and people were testifying and everything. So like, I want you to call him and like, have him pray for you, maybe something. At this point, I need all hands on deck. I need all prayers, like everything. I'm welcoming everything within reason. I get the number, I call the man of God in the morning, and he's like, okay, let me pray for you. It was a very simple prayer. No, like I was expecting, you know what I mean? And like for a long time and everything, it was less than 5 minutes. It was pretty short and simple prayer, and I feel like, you know, there's so much power in simplicity. It was a very simple, just like, God, in the name of Jesus. Obviously I can't repeat exactly what he said, but like, he was just like, open doors for this, for your child, amen. And that was it. So that prayer, like, it was a pretty simple yet powerful prayer, I believe so. And then I'm still sad. I'm still in my sad week and everything. I gave myself that week just being like, you know what, I'm gonna wallow in like the sadness and the pain, and then afterwards I'm gonna go like, I'm gonna wallow in the, but afterwards I'm just gonna like, I'm gonna get back into it, like, yo, push, and see how. So, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna fast for the week, just a week fasting. We're just gonna pray and fast, just clear our heads, no social media, all that. Same as January 2023. Smooth sailing, you know. All the fasting, all the praying, just like yep. You know what, prayer, I think praying and fasting will just like elevate your spirit. You just feel so revived, you feel so like ready to conquer, just like, hey, you know, come at me, you know. And at that time I felt like God was, in that time, like, I'm thinking, maybe God is trying to redirect me to like a different career or something. Now I'm here thinking accounting, I'm applying pressure in accounting, but maybe God is trying to say, pivot, look somewhere else, like, this isn't for you, like, so in that I'm like, but like, what else would I do? Like, I'm I'm stumped. Like, I'm just like, I don't know where to go from here. So what do I do? And also in that time, I don't know if this, I think this was before, somewhere like in September, before the fasting, I was feeling this like feeling of like, you know what, maybe this wasn't time for me to be looking for another job. Maybe this was God trying to draw me closer to him, because with working, I come home, I'm tired, I barely have time to read the Bible. Sometimes I just push like for a verse, not every time. And you know, so I'm thinking, maybe God is trying to like push me closer to him, and it would make sense because I have all the time in the world at this point. And this is something that I always said to Anna. I was like, listen, I have time. One thing that I have is time. Like, yo, in abundance. Like, I had so much time in my hands. Like, I was looking at the walls just like, Kuri, dude, like I had so much time. But don't ask me what I was doing with that time though. Yeah, because I realized that no matter how much you feel like, oh, it's okay, I don't have time to do this. Even if you could take time, okay, maybe if you took time off, you would push some things, some to-dos. But like having time and not knowing like, okay, when will I go back to having like a routine and having like a packed schedule? It's like having money and just like money falling on your lap and you don't know what to do with it. You're just like wasting it. So yeah, that was like that for me. I had all the time in the world. I did try like, try to do as much as I could, but I don't know if I mostly wasted the time, if I'm being honest with myself and with you guys. So in that time, I'm thinking, you know what, let me draw closer to God. I start reading Genesis. Like, dude, Genesis, I couldn't read. I think I stopped at like Genesis 12, 13. And I'll try again another time. I'd say, okay, let me read again from Genesis and finish it. I'd stop at like Genesis 12, 13, somewhere there. I just could not break through beyond chapter 12, chapter 13. Let me tell you, because I had the time, I read the Bible, and for the first time ever, I had that hunger, that thirst for the word, like for real. Okay, no, let me not say for the first time ever. Like when I first became a Christian, first got my Bible, I really was, but like it was like I'm reading the Bible for the first time. It was a renewed, just like a thirst, hunger, something like I really wanted to know. Like I remember I went through Genesis so fast because I was like, I want to know Abraham, like what's gonna happen with who else is with Isaac and Jacob. Like I was so interested. I was immersed. It was like, wait. And at night I'd be like, if I can't fall asleep, I'm just like, yo, let me read another chapter. It was like I'm reading a novel. But like, I don't know if that's a good thing, but I feel like it is a good thing because I had that interest for the first time in a very long time. Like I was just like, yo, like when I wake up, I'm just like, where's my Bible at? Where's my Bible? I gotta, you know, yeah. So that was so refreshing. That was so fun. And then I went into the fasting, as I have already mentioned. And then at some point during the fasting, or towards the end of the fasting, somewhere there, I was just chilling in bed, like preparing, like the lights were off, it was at night, preparing to like fall asleep, doze off and everything. I just casually just like, because I'm thinking, I think God is trying to direct me in a different direction. I'm praying for a sign, you know, like I'm praying for a sign. I'm like, but like casually, it wasn't like a prayer, It was just a casual, like, short conversation, just like, God, I need practically, like, saying I need a sign for this and that, but like regarding like the direction of my career and everything. And I remember just thinking, just one interview maybe in the direction that you want me to go, and then I don't have to pass it, but just for me to know that, okay, like, which path do you want me to take? So I don't know how long after the fasting, but not too long, maybe like a week or so, not too long. I'm still like revived and just like rejuvenated in my spirit and everything. I'm praying, listening to gospel, all that. It's still September, by the way, so I get this call, this very cryptic call, like, hello, is this Lisa? I'm like, yeah. And I'm thinking, for some reason in my head, I'm thinking my mom gave my number to some other prophet so that they can pray for me, because it was very like casual, just like chill. Because even the person was like, weren't you expecting to get called? And I'm like, no one told me anyone was gonna call me. And he was like, we're calling from da-da-da-da. We saw your information from the portal that I registered for in August. And the portal that I registered for in August, that I said, I'll probably just get called probably years from now. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, and they're like, okay, we need your details, because in the portal, it's just information that you just fill in. It's like a form, you just fill it in. So they were now asking for like my CV and my letters and everything. So I'm like, oh, great, like, okay, I'll send them. They give me the email to send my details and everything, the documents that they wanted, sharp. While I'm still like shocked, just like, wait, what just happened? I got another call like less than 10 minutes later, dude. I got another call. Hey, I got another call. Hello, yes, we're calling you for an interview on Friday. It's somewhere else, and this time long.m had told me that she gave my number to her former boss, something like that. So maybe he'll help out, like connecting me to someone, the connection. So I'm thinking, is that person? Because I'm like, I did not apply for this, like, and in my head I'm like, who do I know at this company? No one. I don't know. It's shocked, just like, but I said, okay, I will be there, and like they gave me the location of the company, and I was like, yes, I'll be there this time as you have requested. Yeah, did I not cry after that, dude? I cried. I thanked God, because I was like, Haibo, you mean I was just casually just like, God, like, lead me in this direction, show me a sign, and like you did this. So God really, hey. Okay, let me let me finish by saying I did go for the interview for the second call and the first call, but the second call first, because when they went precisely, they already had my information for how I found out at the interview. Turns out I didn't apply for the job, obviously, because I would remember. I was just shook, like, yeah. But then turns out there's like a sister company, and I applied for it in Jan, like in my crying era, in my prayer and fasting while crying era. I applied for that job. I applied for a job, and then now the other sister company is looking for someone, and they go through those applications, and then I was one of those people who were shortlisted for the interview, and then eventually I got the job. I know. It was such a great feeling. It was like it was like I was underwater and I had finally come up for breath. It was like the walls were closing in on me, and I finally got to escape that room. Literally. Oh, did I not thank my God? Because what? Listen, okay, now we're gonna get to like the moral of the story, which is sometimes you gotta lay down. Like, it's hard, but you gotta lay down your desires, or you gotta lay down your idols, which for me, that job was my idol. As I was saying that, I had put it at a pedestal because I was afraid of not being able to sustain myself, take care of myself, just, give myself those like basic needs. So I had put it at a pedestal, nearly in a way. I had just like, this job, I need this job, worried about this job, about this job. And yeah, like I got to a point where I was listening to this podcast. In all of this, I was listening to this podcast by Girls Gone Bible, GGB, Girls Gone Bible, and they were talking about how, I think I was insert the clip if I can. And one of the ladies, it's two ladies, so one of the ladies was saying that she just surrendered her career to God and was like, I'm laying this career down. I'm no longer worrying about it. Hey, Kuri, I'm lifting the weight of this career off of my shoulders. I'm handing it over to you. You're the one who knows, blah, blah, blah. I did exactly that. I was like, listen, I'm no longer worrying. I'm no longer I'm putting it all in God's hands. I said, God, take it. Take my career. Take it. But then not only my career, but like, because we're mostly talking about my career and like working and everything, I will talk about that. I said, I hand it over to you, surrender it to you. It's no longer my idol. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to worry. I don't want to, yeah. Laying it down, God, I believe God was seeing that, listen, this thing is stressing me and it's my idol and it's just like, it's a lot for me. And he was just like, lay it down. And in a way, I got to have that like sabbatical. I don't know if it was 6 months or something sabbatical. I rested beyond, like I was by October when I started work, I was ready to hit the ground running when other people had like year-end fatigue. Like I was ready to let's go, let's rock and roll, let's go. So and all that, I get to say, like, sometimes when God says lay down your desire or lay down your idol, he knows our hearts. And more than anything, he knows everything about us. He knows what he wants for us, and what he wants for us, his plans are not to harm us, but to prosper us. God's plans for us are for good, not for disaster. They are not to harm us. They are only for the good of our lives. They're only good for us. They're like nutritious food. But then we want the junk food, which is our desires, our idols, which are not good for us. But when you choose to just obey and lay them down, he will just, because when I think about it now, I'm like, I actually like my job now. Like, I used to hate my job, dread my job, yay. Now, like, I like my job, like, I super like my job. And then also, I super it's crazy now. Like, when I reflect on it, I'm like, I've talked about this with my supervisor, being like, he was asking me, okay, Kante, what direction do you want your career to take? Like, what exactly do you want to venture into? And I told him, hey, beautiful people, it is 2000 years later. As you can see, I've changed my hairstyle and it is old already, so I'm gonna change it again in a few days. But I was editing this video and I realized, it's not done. it wouldn't make sense for me to leave it where it is. So I just want to say in conclusion that God loves us. God, being our Father, wants to see us be happy and healthy. Draw near close to Him. Draw near Him. Draw close to Him. He'll draw near you and draw close to you. Why is the light changing? So obedience does pay. It's a lot, but it does pay. I don't know if I mentioned that I had in the span of a week I had like 3 calls to interviews. Like, it can only be God. It can only be God. It was such an overwhelming time when God finally opened the doors and was like, "Here, my child, this is what you've been crying for." Overall, 2023 was such an eye-opening year. It was rough, but I wouldn't change anything because I learned a lot. The lessons I learned from that year, crazy. I learned a lot from that year, and I will share some of what I learned. We'll see how I share it, but I will share it. Thank you for watching, because this video was very long, very long, and I wouldn't want to make my conclusion to make the video even longer. So thank you for watching. I'll see you on my next one, if you do watch my next one.